Thing about life is it's gonna have ups and downs. Nothing you can do about that. But on the upside, we just trying to keep it up. You win some, you learn some, it's no losses. Yeah. Trying to elevate, I just take the ups with the downs. If it escalate, my order gon' uppity down. Make them levitate, Blake lift them up off the ground. I'm a heavyweight, I've been trying to uplift the town. You ain't say that, oh now we got puppets around. I don't play that, the homie can't make up with no clown. This the upside, everything is up with me now. Down ass bitch, I gotta act uppity now. Ain't no getting back with me when I'm up and she down. And I just lost a parlay off a couple rebounds. Thought y'all was happy for me. What's up with these frowns? I'm big fish. Y'all mad y'all can't guppy me now? Stay hungry, never thirsty. My cup with me now. See me drop a bag, I'm a cup of tea now. Moving on up, Jefferson's Upper East now. Could've upped the middle finger, but I upped the piece now. Yeah, deuces like Breezy and Tiger. Hoes ain't loyal, featuring Weezy and Tiger. Swing through clubs, yeah that gets easy for Tiger. Drip too hard, I don't make it easy for biters. They think when you getting paper, it gets easy as whiter. But I never force it, the reason is Geiger. Hey, they gon' come for you when they can't come for you. I got comfortable seeing them uncomfortable. I got local niggas tryna locate ya. She not up in Kroger, she in Croatia. You thoughts get around, yeah they rotate ya. You not wife material with whole nature. And I don't know who need to hear that. The shoe fits, wear that. Cause I'ma leave you weirdos right where you get weird at. Chick foreign like I met her out here. She like that Drake album sound way better out here. I know. Trust me, I know. I'm just saying it's a different vibe when you on the other side with it.
The fantastic Mrs. Webb, mother of three, is playing all over Liv's top. If playing on somebody's top was a black culture activity, a sport, a skill, something that is part of our fabric and rhythm and all the things that make up part of the black culture, Mrs. Webb, the fantastic mother of three, would be known for her supreme ability of that sport, the mastery of that activity. And that activity, if it was playing on Liv's top, would be double dutch. Mrs. Webb has been playing on Liv's top for years. I know y'all don't really see it, or some people don't really realize what's going on, but she has repeatedly checkmated Liv. She has taken Liv's past and her future. She has given Liv bad paperwork, as they would say in jail. He got bad paperwork. He can't be in here with the regular people, with the regular prisoners. Gotta put him in PC. He got charges for putting, touching on kids or something. It's just got bad paperwork. You gotta go. You gotta get up out of here. Or as the police would say, they put a case on her, put a jacket on her, and she's going to wear that jacket the rest of her life. And it will deter any good man from ever thinking about dealing with her seriously. Now, we're going to separate men from males. She's always going to get some dick. You know what I mean? There's always going to be a male that's willing to smash her, especially if they have nose blindness and can't smell her funk. She's going to get it. But we're not talking about them. We're talking about men. In a hypothetical, let's just say I met Liv and we were interested or getting to know each other and dating or whatever. It would quickly, just through getting to know each other briefly, it would throw up major red flags. I'd be like, no, she's delusional. There is something definitely wrong with her. And it won't be the stereotypical stuff, because she can hold it together for short periods of time where it might not come off immediately how pathetic she really and truly is. The way Mrs. Webb have given Liv just horrible paperwork that she can't talk her way out of to a man is her story. She doesn't have a good story. So if I met a woman And I'm not making some kind of moral judgment or anything like that. You know, she has 5 children by 3 different men. Okay. There's women in those situations that will find the love of their life in a great dude. You know, I'm not saying, oh, that's impossible, because it happens, you know, all the time. And there's also a lot of reasons that predicament could come about that would be, you know, relatively understandable story, or you could see that happening. You know, life is complicated, relationships are complicated. And so, you know, I wouldn't automatically rule a woman out, you know, because certain situations like that. I mean, I don't have children. I chose not to have children. But most women I've dated after a certain age, they had children. You know, I mean, it just, you know, went with the territory. And I will say this too, most women that I've dated that did have children, even women I've dated for long periods of time, I never met their children. I wasn't trying to meet their children. They weren't trying to have me meet their children. Consenting adults having adult relationships, private relationships, is not children's business. You can have a relationship or a friendship with somebody that you really care about, you know, and they're not going to be beating your kids. You know, there's nothing wrong with, you know, with that. On top of it, not everybody that you talk to or have some kind of relationship with or whatever is husband or wife material. You're not looking for them to be your husband or wife. You're not looking for them to be your boyfriend or girlfriend. It might just be you work a full-time job and a part-time job. You work a part-time job and also take care of your children or whatever it may be, and you just want some adult physical attention. A little stress relief. Nothing wrong with that. Among consenting adults, hey, I'm not the one to come to some kind of moral, oh, you should never. No, it's your life. Be responsible. Do what you do. There's nothing, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not. So Liv doesn't have a good story. So let's just say I met Liv, and probably most people I meet is some way through work. I've never dated or been with somebody that I worked in the same company with, but that's normally how I meet most people, period, is through my work activities. So it might be a supporting company or a vendor that we deal with, and, you know, I meet somebody that way. But I don't date people. I would never date somebody that worked directly in the company that I work for. When I got my very first summer job, my father told me, don't mess with the meat where you make your bread. And I was like, I'm working at a car wash, not a restaurant. What are you talking about? He told me that. And I was like, I work at, I'm going to be working at a car wash, not a restaurant. What are you talking about? And he like, you'll learn, you'll figure it out. And so in that summer, I did figure it out. And it was really good advice. And the drama and the complications that it can cause. When it's good, just like with any relationship, whether you work with the person or not. When a relationship is good, it's good. But when it's bad, it's bad. And you don't want that bleeding into your work. Be really messy in a work environment. And I think we probably all have seen those relationships play out. And we've seen some people that meet and got married, that's great. And we've seen it the other way, where it just played out pretty badly. So, if I just met Liv, which won't happen because she's not like us. She's not in the real world. So that's not going to happen. And we're just getting to know each other. We're talking, little background stuff. And then she tells me, she has 5 children. She might not even tell me by, 3 different dudes, but I do have 5 children. Okay, cool. And she says, well, 3 of them live with their father and my 2 youngest live with me. I'm like, all right, that's what's up. And, I'm trying to, a lot of stuff you do eternally, you're not going to say it to the person, but it would spark my curiosity a little bit how that played out. What's the scenario? And if she had a good story that I would consider a good story, it's a story of struggle and redemption. So she told me, I just be real with you. I had a substance abuse issue. I was alcoholic or drug addict when I was young, and it was just out of control, and I could not provide for my children. I actually lost custody for my children, or I voluntarily gave it, and it was so awesome that their father able to step in and fill that gap, and he's been raising the kids full time, and he's been doing excellent. He's married now, and it's been a really good situation. I'm clean now. I've been clean. I've been rebuilding my life. I have a good relationship with them. I spend time with them. I get them during the summers. It's the highlight of my life. Bada bing, bada boom. Good story. People go through shit. So that would not be an automatic, oh, hell no, for me, right? Or for some guys, because I'm not speaking for every guy. For some guys, it would be still a hell no. And it shows the growth and the development, and, that would be a good story. If she said something like, she said, look, I had my first kid when I was 13. He was 25. By the time I was 18, I had 3 more children, and I was going no place. I was living in poverty. It was just all kinds of fucked up. I joined the military, and I had to get out of there and actually make a way. The father's been taking care of them. And, I did 8 years or whatever in the military, or 4 years in the military. And as they were growing up, they had a really good situation. And, I have a decent relationship with the father where we work together, same type of thing. I get them for vacations and things of that nature, but it would be crazy to pull them out of that environment of that's where they've grown up at. They go to school there, extended families there. It's a lot of support system there. And even though I would love to have them stay with me full time, that's not best for them. And things are working really good. So, we're just going to keep it moving like this because it's working out the best for the children, or something similar to that. Okay, that's a good story. That could definitely change the view of, what the hell's going on to, okay, I can understand that. I will still have questions of like, how is it you were 13 and a 25-year-old dude was fucking on you? And I would have some concerns about, I would have concerns and questions, but that would be a good story. If she said, when I was younger, or a period of my life, I went through some serious mental health crisis. I had a lot of stuff from childhood or whatever I was dealing with. I had a breakdown, and I had to go into intensive therapy, and, I lost custody, and thankfully the father stepped in, and, now I got treatment and really been working on it and resolving stuff, and life is so much better, and I have a great relationship with my children, Okay, same type of deal. There's legitimate reasons for this kind of stuff where, you're not just going to automatically write somebody off. But Liv doesn't have that. So this is what Liv's story is. Well, I don't have my first 3. They were with his father. He's a piece of shit. And his fucking wife, they're just horrible people. And the only way that he was able to get custody was because he got a lawyer. He went to court first, and I'll be like, oh man, that's messed up, and she was like, and he went to court first, and I was just a homemaker, so I didn't have the money to fight it or to get a good lawyer to fight it. And I'll be like, wow, yeah, that's messed up. Lots of times when, if you say you're a homemaker and, he's an executive, he has a lot of money to throw at that, and, he can definitely change the outcome. Executive. He's too stupid to be an executive. He's a fucking garbage man. Pew, pew, red flags like a motherfucker. Wait a minute. He's a garbage man? Yeah, he's a garbage man. Because Liv is dumb, willfully dumb, slow, and stupid. She doesn't realize, like, for a man, what the fuck are you talking about? If all things are even, you forget it, even things even being even. Let's just say the mother is barely taking care of the kids. She's getting assistance for housing, food, everything. She's not the best parent in the world. She has other issues. If the father's just a working dude and out there working, the mother's going to get primary custody. That's just the way it is. The mother has to be all types of fucked up for a father to get primary custody, unless there is a really big power or financial imbalance where he could throw money at it, but it's still really hard. And then on top of it, there's a lot of fathers that aren't really truly trying to have their children full time, and they're really doing it because that's the best for their children, and they want their children to be with them. Not even about I'm trying to spite the mother. It's more of I want my children with me. The mother has to be complete shit. She has to be complete fucking shit. There's no there's no ways around it. She had to be in prison, or she just got to be so neglectful that the courts have no other recourse. You don't see stable mothers losing custody to stable fathers because he's a fucking garbage man and she's a YouTube star or whatever. It makes no sense. It's a bad story. As a man, you automatically know there's some delusion here. There's some other bullshit going on. That does not happen. Now, would you tell her that? Me personally, I probably wouldn't, because I already know, I didn't realize I'm talking to a delusional person. So that would be pointless, trying to, get them to understand that. Or I might be thinking, I still want to smash, so I ain't going to say shit that I know this chick fucking crazy. I mean, it could be that. That's what she's going to be dealing with. That is her story. That her bad paperwork. That's the jacket she has to wear. Mrs. Webb, the fantastic mother of three, has taken her past and her future. A good man is not going to want Liv once he hears that story. It's a wrap. Also, this is another thing too. So she thinks it's a high insult to call Gerard a garbage man. She doesn't realize being a garbage man is a respectable job. There's people with degrees that are garbage man. And then garbage men are different than what it was back in the day, especially in the South. Garbage men are not hustling through alleyways, dodging rats, picking up metal trash cans at the curb. They're pulling up in the truck, a robotic arm comes up, grab your trash, and dumps it in the back of the truck, and they go on to the next house. Yeah, that's a really disgusting, hard job, But no, because she's never worked and been part of the working world, she doesn't know, because she's a parasite. She just takes. She don't know sanitation workers, sewer workers, and plumbers and things of that nature are the backbone of the world. Let these nobody garbage men go on strike for a month. See how fucked up your world get. It's important and it's a respectable job. Somebody, often garbage men, they're city jobs. They're union jobs. They're city pay. You put in a long struggle, you got retirement, you got benefits, you got insurance for your 3 kids and your wife. and you can slowly but surely build a future. She doesn't realize that. So when she says it, it's a complete smear in her brain. Hell, they even made a TV show about a fucking garbage man that had a house, had a family, took care of his family, stood on his own, and helped in the community. The show's called Rock. But Liv thinks it's a smear. And in this case, it is a smear. Is once again, Liv is a fucking liar. Stop believing shit Liv says. I have worked around and I've been on properties that the company Gerard works for. I know what they do. The company I work for sells them equipment. I've been on many of their properties. They do not fucking pick up garbage. That's a fucking lie. He is not a garbage man. And I don't know if he was working there before they divorced, or it would have came out, again, I'm assuming in court what his occupation was. But if he was working there when they were still in contact and divorced, that just goes to show either she totally didn't give a fuck about what he was doing with his life. It was inconsequential. She ain't got time to hear that. It's more, enough about you, more about me type situation. Or she's deliberately trying to downgrade and degrade him, as her personality type does. She would have known that. Hey man, I finally got a job with this company. Even though the reason I know he works for it, because I saw it on his work uniforms, and I saw it on a truck, but I'm not just going to say it. I work, I got a job with this company, and, they do this and they do that and they do this. She should know that that's not what his position would be. This company does not do sanitation. I'm telling you straight up. She's full of shit. She's using it as a smear. As Liv spins out and burns out and goes through her cycles, as Liv is going through mail after mail after mail, these males are figuring her out real quick. Gamer Bay, Joey, they figure out real quick, hell nah. From chicken heads to birds to thoughts to bops. She's all of that. She's the representation of that. And Mrs. Webb made that happen. I mean, can you just imagine just how hard you're playing on somebody's top? She took Liv's dude. And she was so calculating that she didn't move immediately. I think she had the plan from the beginning, but she didn't move immediately. So she took Gerard. Come here. That's mine now. Liv can't do shit. And so I'm assuming she saw in Gerard somebody that was terribly abused by Liv, because Liv is just terribly abusive because of her mental status, or because Liv personality disorder grinds other people into the dirt. It strips your dignity, yourself. She consumes all of that. It just takes everything out of you, mentally and emotionally. It hits you at the core of your being. And I think Mrs. Webb saw that and was like, this is actually a good dude. Like, Gerard seems like a kind of a simple person. He want to go to work. He want to have some laughs with the dudes at work. He want to come home to his family. That's really who he is. He want to have some nice things, but he want to come home to his family. He enjoys that. There's nothing wrong with that. He'd like to have a nice meal. But he was with Liv. There's no peace in that home. There would never be any peace in that home. And then on top of it, nice meal. We seen her cook slop. He wasn't getting a nice meal there. So if he wanted a nice meal, he was going to cook the nice meal. But guess what? He don't mind cooking nice meal. If it was something that needed to be done, he would do it. But it just became too much dealing with Liv. She drains everybody. She took Gerard and put the things in place that will facilitate his healing and their growth together. Right? The stability, the understanding, the respect, the appreciation, the confidence building. And she made sure, he is a good guy. He is, hey, this shit's working. He is so much more happier now. We're so happy together. And then one day, she woke up and said, Gerard, you're like, yeah, babe. Go get me some babies. You're like, okay, baby. and he came and took your damn kids, Liv. He came and you talk about some gangster shit. He took your babies, and you ain't done shit about it besides cry on the internet for 6 fucking years. Your story is so fucked up. And any guy with common sense and substance will see right through that bullshit. I mean, immediately. And I tell you, everybody out there, all of y'all mothers and fathers, y'all should be thankful to Mrs. Webb. Y'all should be like, yes, thank you. Because Liv cannot access y'all children anymore. Not your fathers, not your sons, not your brothers. Because hopefully they got good sense, right? Hopefully those people in your life are men. And they will see right through that bullshit. Go and ask them, hey, if you met a girl that said this, see what they say. If you met a girl that said she got 5 kids by 3 different dudes, but the father's raised the first 3 because he got to court first and he had all the money and he's a garbage man, and just ask them, just get their honest opinion. And it's been very interesting over the last month. Liv is really, her mask is cracking. She is in full-blown crisis. And she has been, as I've been listening to her, she has really been telling some truths. She doesn't realize it, but she has been giving us looks into her deep psyche. And it comes out in little drips and drabs of what she really, how her mind actually functions. And so she's definitely crashing. She's definitely spiraling. And Mrs. Webb is just the architect of it. I mean, it's amazing the stuff you can do when you're educated about something, when you know your enemy, when you know what you're up against, how you can manipulate a situation and people just don't realize what's going on. Mrs. Webb is a master tactician, at least at breaking Liv dumbass down. She has absolutely destroyed Liv. Destroyed her. Liv has no get back on Mrs. Webb. Only thing Liv has to get back on her own children, which is perverse, but I mean, what else is she supposed to do with her personality type? Of course she's going to do that. Of course. And I know people don't understand why the Web3 are still going over there. I do know why, and I don't agree with it. There's things that need to be done and should be done, but I know how it could happen, and I'm going to do a video on that, and I get it. I mean, Liv is dangerous. She doesn't care. Straight up, if it took getting Robin hooked on drugs and prostituting herself in order for Liv to get what she wants, she would do it. I'm not even exaggerating. She would do it. Liv is a pedophile dream mom. I mean, her boundaries, she doesn't have any. It's all about her trying to achieve what she wants. And what she wants is Gerard. All these guys that she's going through, they just don't hit the same like Gerard. They don't hit the same. It doesn't even compare. She's starting to realize it. None of them give her what Gerard gave her. None of them. Not even close. And she is so much realizing that. And it's destroying her. It's eating her alive. It's been 6 years and people are like, oh, you just move on. Eventually you move on. Girl, just move. It's been 6 years. If you had some friends or had some, they tell you need to move on. She can't move on. Liv is not normal. Liv is not like most people. She's not. She has a personality disorder and she can't just move on. Miss Webb literally took Liv's breath. She can't breathe. She's suffocating. We're watching her suffocate. Miss Webb took her past and her future. I think it's a beautiful thing. I mean, maybe I'm not as empathetic, but you cannot be empathetic to these people. That's who she is. She's going to be destructive to anybody that cares about her. She eats other lives. She will destroy anyone that gives her compassion and love. She takes the things that make us human, the good things that make us human, and she weaponizes them. You have empathy? Oh, she'll take that. You have pride and dignity? Oh, please. Oh, she'll take that. You have compassion? Oh, she want to double take of that. She's going to take that. I mean, she's not going to take it and implement it into her and incorporate it into her. She's going to take it and just use it. And she's going to watch it die. And she's going to love every minute of it. So you can't have empathy for these people. You have to recognize what they are and act accordingly. And she can't change. I mean, there's things she could do that can mitigate her condition. She could work hard. She could go to therapy and work hard. But her dying day, she's still going to be what she is. And with these people, their future is written. We know how they die. They die alone and unloved. And when they die, some people will celebrate. No joke. Some people will celebrate. But probably the people that's closest to her or was closest to her, they would just be relieved. No celebration, just relieved that she's gone. She is that destructive to other people. We've watched Kalani struggle for air for a year. Struggle for air. If last month, if Liv came screaming into the camera that Kalani's dead, died in her sleep, would anybody be surprised? I wouldn't have been surprised. I wouldn't be surprised at all. I mean, we watched this. Liv doesn't, she's incapable of caring. Why she sits there and put on makeup and buy crap online, and her daughter day after day struggles to breathe. She didn't fucking care. Now her daughter, her children are in places where they're mandatory reporters. That's a good thing. That's going to put pressure on Liv. She don't like that. These type of people normally try to not have their children have contact with mandatory reporters. Questions get asked, concerns get raised. She doesn't like that. She's feeling the pressure of that. I mean, we see how children come up under her tutelage. AJ's hitting teachers. It's not the first time. Hitting other children. She's raising children that are going to be seriously damaged, and most likely. She's laying the bedrock and the groundwork for the outcome, in all likelihood, is going to be drug abuse, poverty, exploitation, jail, prison. This is where a lot of these kids come from. They come out of these situations. And it's sad. That part is sad. I don't feel sad for Liv at all. I feel sad. You can get desensitized to watching what Liv does. And, we realize it. We know it's crazy and stuff, but the straight up horrific nature of it. We watch this stuff. We get desensitized. Or some of us. Well, that's my opinion. Please get in the comments and let me know what you think. And I'll be talking to y'all guys soon. Oh, and please subscribe, and all of that YouTube good stuff. I appreciate everybody that has. I will be working on more videos. As y'all know, it's just complicated, and I'm still trying to figure out a routine. And I'm working on something in the background, and because there's a lot of stuff I want to address when it comes to Liv, but I have to take, when I really get into what I want to get into, she's going to take measures. When I really get into what I want to say fully about Liv, it's going to cause her to take certain measures. And I just want to make sure I have everything done before I do that. And it'll be too late for her to take those countermeasures. And it's going to be pretty interesting. Hopefully, all these people that recognize the dangers and how dangerous and how messed up it is, it will give them an outlet to put that energy into some things that should be effective in making changes. That's what I'm kind of working on. And then once I do that, I can actually really speak about videos and really give my full opinion about Liv in the situation.